Well, I figure I'll give you guys a Friday evening towing video. Finished off a job that we thought was only a 3-dayer. Turned out to be almost 7. They had some add-ons. And we're going to do some dirt work for neighbor Wes, if you're watching this. Did load a bucket up for you, but he ended up not wanting the stump buried. So, I'll throw her back up on the deck on the neck. But that's actually super handy having that. Got to run home, get the gooseneck to actually haul tractors in. We got to go get the skid steer and the blue guy, bring it back here. And I don't think we got enough time to go get the Mechalek tonight. That little fella lifted the big fella. Get it, Kubota. Get it. Oh, God. It's already hot. Yep. I tried to change it up a little bit. It's not really growing on me, but then it's kind of growing on me, but then it's got a little hippie tinge at the end. Don't enjoy that. Look how green everything is. It's not bad. Horse. I'm gonna be hauling 2 machines, so I need 4 tie downs for the little guy. We're short-handed one. Let's step over to my other office. Yeah, that'll work. Need a toolbox over here. Jacob and I had talked about just having a toolbox for the winch right here, except for not having the winch in it. But she didn't show up, so here we are. Oh, look at here. That guy finally got his chipper out. Man, oh man. If you're in this area, you know that chipper. And that guy, he kind of, I don't know, a little bit iffy. You know, you buy a $300,000 chipper and you don't have an excavator to feed it. I don't know. Let's turn up the brakes a little bit. Coming in, Jeep. Yeah, we can squeeze this. Sure. Oh, yeah. Kept her on the side. Just about 1 inch of room. Maybe a foot. Doesn't matter as long as it made it. Alright. That one's just kind of in a goofy spot, but she'll work. Let's give her some. Oh, it's nice strapping down a rubber tire rig because it gives. These ones just, that's it, tight. Check this side. I had to hook that one in a different spot because I had the wrong hooks. I was supposed to put this one where I put that top one, but here we are. We didn't undo it, we just improvised. Let's get on down the road. Gotta stay hydrated a little bit. Square body, 2 of them. I always get a kick out of people saying that any of these pickups are underpowered, kind of a deal. You know, a Ford, yeah, Ford's got good power. The Dodge, the Ram, high output, that's got pretty good power. Cab chassis trucks are unfortunately derated. You get a little bit more out of it when you got a lower gear ratio and all that mess. But you got to think realistically what you're pulling back there. I got about 18,000 pounds on the deck, and this is a light load compared to what this truck normally hauls. And normally 25,000 on the deck, that's a pretty good amount of weight for a pickup truck. But to say these things are underpowered, that's one thing if you're just driving it empty. But for what these suckers do, oh, here we go, got a green light. I'm just gonna leave it in tow haul and just let her eat with this little load on there. Saying that this is underpowered, I'm going up a hill right now. Once it locks up, there's 25, 26, underpower. We're pulling, the trailer weighs almost 10,000 pounds, so there's literally almost 30,000 pounds behind this truck, and she's just chooching it. 35, going up a little hill from a dead nut stop. I say these trucks do pretty dang good. I'm not too bummed about what they pull and how they do it. Now a Ford, like I've driven a Ford towing an 080, which is slightly more than this. The high output Ford of a 2020. It's been a couple years, they got more horsepower now, yeah I know. Realistically, it ripped. But compared to, you know, one of these or a regular Ram high output, you only got like 5, 6, maybe 7 mile an hour at best pulling the same grade ish. And some of those times I honestly don't think there was really that much of a difference. But this right now is pulling this without a problem. Brought me right up to the speed limit. I'm really not too bummed about how this thing's power level is. Yeah, it would be nice to have a little bit more, but at the end of the day, I got cars at the house that got horsepower, okay? I don't need the truck to have horsepower, especially one that costs near 100 grand. And then I got upwards of full setup being more than the house. Tied up in the whole setup. We don't need to be hauling ass, okay? And then saying the shift pattern's a little bit wonky on these. I don't know. I've always just kind of, if I didn't like the gear was in, I felt like you needed to downshift a little earlier in preparation for the hill. Like right here, you watching? See there's a hill right there? Let's just hit the button ahead of time, like you would towing with a, you know, stick shift truck. You see the hill coming, you're losing a little bit of ground speed, drop a gear before the hill. Simple as that. The truck doesn't know a hill's coming. How are you supposed to tell the shift pattern ahead of time? Hey, I got a hill coming. We got whisper to it? That's not how it works. There's some flaws in it. 10 speed's pretty damn nice. It always finds a sweet spot. But one of these, the 6-speed, she rocks and rolls. I like it a lot. And realistically, towing this weight and even more weight, you're running the piss out of the truck really to, you know, be competitive. And this thing, I freaking like this truck a lot. Like it a lot. See, look, I lost a little bit of ground speed for this hill right here because I didn't have a little pre-downshift. So hit the hill, you lose a little bit of steam, she kicks down, keeps going. Just the way it goes. This is how transmissions work. And I see it in the forums all the time, and I'm about tired of the forums because everybody just badmouths trucks no matter what brand it is. And you gotta really stop and think how impressive the automotive industry is to knock trucks like this out, and Ford, Chev, GMC, whatever, on a regular basis. How many of these trucks they knock out, and then the people get mad because a small percentage of any one of the brands has a subtle part defect or something along those lines, and they get mad at them. None of us could compete at all. We can't even restore one vehicle a year. They're knocking out hundreds of thousands of them a year. How? They're good. Anyway, rant's over. Let's get back and drop these off at Haas's house. I'm gonna throw this clip in here. This is the next day. We're gonna do an acceleration test just in tow haul. I ain't gonna touch the buttons with the Mechlek on there. And folks say the machines up and down the field, they weigh 20,000 all day long. Whatever. I just say the numbers that they're real numbers. Oh, we got a green light. There we go. This machine weighs 22,000 plus counterweight and the rotobeck. This is not flat ground right here. It's a decent little ant. Got her in tow haul. She stretches her legs all the way till she's not quite at red line, almost 3,000. Speed limit through here is 45 mile an hour, I believe. Most time people do about 65. There, up to the speed limit. So if you take a quick idea, that downshifted pretty early. But this whole setup right here, we're closing in on 45. That heavy machine, the heavier trailer in this truck, she's getting up there. Yeah, we get out of here. That's Haas's, I'd say probably a Prime is his favorite, but the little blue guy is definitely something that makes this yard operate. So we gotta have that back here. Whoop! Look at that. Everything's starting to fade a little bit. It's only a 2018. The new chipper, well, the chipper is 18. The new 080 is a 2018. This 18, and the Mechalec's an 18. A lot of 18s. Oh, really? We are out the door, headed home. Whew, it's a good way to burn more than half the afternoon. If you made it this far in the video, say, hey, those are pretty nice red seat belts you're running there, Haas. Also want to mention, when I first got this truck, a lot of folks were saying, why are you manually shifting the truck? It's not automatic, let us do a thing. Now, I don't know if this plays into effect or not, but it takes some time to learn your driving style. For instance, this thing pretty much has a trailer behind it all the time. Probably 85% of the time it's towing a trailer. So this thing's shift logic is based off of towing a trailer. When I first got it, it was very, very downshift happy. Premature downshifts, and it was ridiculous when you were when you were driving with no load on it. It just wanted to downshift. It was really brutal when you didn't have a trailer behind it. But after doing my manual shiftings and stuff like that, this thing pretty much hits the shift points about exactly where I want. So for instance, right now I'm just towing an empty trailer. I go ahead and snatch tow haul, turn it off. Don't need that right now because it does some pretty good downshifting ahead of time, but just when I barely touch the pedal. And exhaust brake is always on. But when I go to start towing, I want that early downshift. You know, as soon as I touch the pedal, I want it to downshift, start throwing me some engine braking. And also I want it to stretch the gears out for pulling hills. I don't want it to be shifting early. So far so good. This thing's pretty much right on the ball for where I want. It just really needs to stretch gears when you're trying to climb a hill. Some folks, I've gotten a comment lately, there was, I don't like hearing a mini inline six. I like hearing the big rig, like where it's got power at 1700 RPM. And you know, yeah, that's real nice. These smaller engines, they like to sing, no matter what breed they are. You're not going to find this horsepower at a safe, usable, consistent pulling power at a lower RPM. You're just not. It's going to heat it up. It's throwing a lot of air, a lot of fuel, all in the same time, and you need RPM to push that stuff through. It's just the way it is. You get a different cam and stuff to, you know, if you're deleted, but the way these things are, you're going to need some RPMs to pull this kind of power out of any of the breed. You need RPMs. That's all you're going to get out of these smaller units. Bigger rig, yeah. Even the bigger rigs trying to, you know, hit emissions, they still need to have a little bit more RPM. A lot more RPM on a newer truck semi than I really expected. But anyway, we're out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This thing's shift logic is actually pretty good for a 6-speed as far as I can tell. Hell of a lot easier than, you know, the man's mission, which I got plenty of those trucks, but this is just nice. Nice, easy going. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later. Boop.